ever attended the Winter Games of 2026, having taken his final bow more than 4 centuries before a single athlete marched into Italy. But he understood this country. He set Romeo and Juliet in Verona and transformed a city once defined by feuding families into a symbol of longing, devotion, and bittersweet parting. And so it feels fitting that these games conclude tonight inside the ancient stone embrace of the Arena di Verona, a first-century amphitheater that has witnessed empires rise and fall, and now Olympic dreams fulfilled and deferred. These were historic games before the first medal was awarded. For the first time, a Winter Olympics belonged to two host cities, Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo, urban elegance and alpine majesty sharing the spotlight. The opening ceremony unfolded in one place, the closing in another. A modern model stretched across the Dolomites and the Lombardy Plains, ambitious and at times improvised. And yet it worked. The athletes made certain of that. There was youth triumphant. Alyssa Liu, the first American woman in 24 years to claim Olympic singles gold in figure skating. Jordan Stolz, twice atop the podium in speed skating. Michaela Schifrin adding another golden chapter to a career already carved into Olympic lore in the downhill. And there was experience enduring. Elena Myers-Taylor and Kaylee Humphries, both in their 40s, stood on the podium with children watching. Mexico's Sarah Skepler competed in her 7th Olympics alongside her own son. 3 athletes over 40 captured individual gold, a rarity turned into a revelation. In cross country, Norway's Johannes Holfat Klæbo rewrote the record book, leading his nation to another commanding medal count. Norway, a small country with an outsized winter heartbeat. There was heartbreak too. A devastating crash for Lindsey Vonn, a free skate that slipped from Ilian Malalin's favored hands. Controversies in curling, a disqualification for Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladislav Hergachev, who chose remembrance over silence. Politics flickered. Love blossomed. Proposals on snow and ice, and yes, the Olympic Village proved that even elite discipline cannot entirely restrain romance. These games may not define an era the way Lake Placid or Vancouver once did, but they will be remembered for their humanity, for the blending of generations, for resilience, for moments both grand and oddly charming, including a stray wolf dog named Nuzgul sprinting across a cross-country course, reminding us that unpredictability is the truest Olympic constant. Juliet said, "Parting is such sweet sorrow." Tonight, athletes depart knowing they stood upon ancient stone in modern ambition and left their mark on both. The Olympic story now turns, still European, still Alpine. In 2030, the Winter Games moved to the French Alps, adopting the same regional model, pioneered here in Milan and Cortina. Competition will stretch across 4 zones, from the ice arenas of Nice to the slopes of Savoy, Tahat, and Savoy, with events in Briançon and beyond. The closing ceremony is planned not for a stadium, but along the waterfront of the Promenade des Anglais in Nice, open to the sea, echoing Paris, a bold reimagination of its ceremony in 2024. France knows this stage. It hosted Albertville in 1992. It welcomed the world again in Paris just 2 summers ago. In 2030, the 26th Winter Olympics will blend legacy venues with modern sensibility, a continuation of this new Olympic philosophy, expansive, regional, adaptive. But before the snow returns to the Alps, the Olympic cauldron will blaze in Southern California. The games of the 34th Olympiad, set for 2028 in Los Angeles, are set to open on July 14th, 2028. The fifth time the United States has hosted an Olympics, the third for this sprawling city of light and renovation. More than 15,000 athletes, 351 events, venues stretching from the Pacific coastline to Oklahoma City, baseball at Dodger Stadium, basketball at the Intuit Dome, soccer across time zones, cricket, and flag football, all joining the Olympic family. If Milan Cortina stretched across mountains and metros, Los Angeles will stretch across imagination itself. And so we return to where we began. Shakespeare transformed Verona from a place of division into a symbol of love and longing. These games transformed two cities into one shared stage, a reminder that sport at its best bridges distance, language, and even generations. The stones of the Arena di Verona have stood for nearly thousands of years. Athletes were here for 2 weeks, but what they did here, the victories, the heartbreaks, the embraces, will linger far longer than the echo of tonight's applause. From Milan and Cortina to Los Angeles to the French Alps, the stage changes, the players change, but the human drama, that timeless pursuit of excellence beneath open skies, well, that remains. And that is what will be remembered most of all when we talk about the 25th Winter Olympic Games. I'm Ryder Bullock, saying goodnight one final time from Milan and Cortina in the games of the 25th Winter Olympics.